Sagittarius, good morning, how you doing? So I keep hearing like Bradford, Bradfield, or Brandon, Brangelina, or something to do with Bradfield, Britain, Brian, Beth, something about Brian the Lion, something to do around a Leo or an Aquarian. Yeah, but I keep hearing like B names, but yeah, something to do around Britain or travelling, or something to do around a holiday, or keeps travelling, something about Life Path 7 or a Cancerian. Pretty much like myself, really. Just want to get out of the house, but kind of like Housey, Chris, Christine, Chrissy Ra, Chrissy Ray, Chrissy Ma, Christine. But yeah, what have we got for something around a Scorpio or an Aries placement? Feel like that, or place, something to do. If I say place, you say God, haddock, fish, Pisces. Something to do with like I want my own place, or I'm just looking to fit in somewhere. But I definitely keep hearing like a fitting, something to do with maybe do I fit well with this person, and considering someone, do I fit in well with them? Okay, but I definitely keep hearing like energies of like wanting to travel, because I get, British Isles or Ireland, Idaho or Ireland, but like wanting to travel, wanting to get out, okay, wanting to go on holiday, or there is a traveling energy here. Definitely keep, because this is coming up for a lot of people, because we are obviously in the year, all of us, of 2023, which puts us at a 7-year. And I don't know about you guys, but all I wanted to do is travel. That all seems to be on my mind all the time, is travelling across Britain and going to different places. So there's a huge energy of fish here. So you're going to have to catch up with how I channel there, catching a fish. It's something to do with plenty of fish, or dating, or like World Wide Web. That is also a 3 energy. There's like energies of like travelling here. There's energies of like the World Wide Web, of like talking, speaking, all of this kind of stuff. Maybe dating, maybe online dating. Could be something around a Leo or an Aquarius placement. This person could okay, so placement fish, this huge fish energy here. So you could be like a Life Path 3, or they could, okay. But then I'm also hearing, sorry, what was I hearing? So I was hearing placements. So place again, fish. Okay, so like looking for my own place, like, so in Britain you might be eating a lot of fish or pussy or something like that, something around Leo, or like looking for my own place. So place in Britain is an actual fish, but place is also a home or a house. And this came up in Gemini reading, where I said this person's got a huge place. Now it's either a big pussy, a big old schlong, or a big house, okay? Because I definitely kept hearing housey, or housing development, sort of like looking to move, or the house that you live in is a big house, okay, and it's a full house. It might be Lulu, you're right, Lulu, but like housing, housey, howl, now, cow, brown cow, Kelly, Keely, Casey, Casano, Kelly, anyway, anything that is representative, a holiday rep. So you keep going back to like holidays, like a rep, like a red coat or a yellow coat, or a rep, and a representation, like I want you to referee something, red flag, or can you referee, like can you agree to like use me as your like shouting someone out, giving someone a shout out, or a business opportunity or something like that, and like using a person as a like, can you stand up for me and say that I'm creditable and all of this kind of stuff, and helping someone out with their business. I'm hearing like business studies or business related kind of energy here, and like can you be, you wouldn't call it a ref, but what would that be? A rep. Okay, like I need you in order to help me, and if you help me, I can help you, and we can kind of do the same thing. Or I'm around a Stephen King, novelist, writing a book or something, journaling and a book. I'm definitely hearing like, can you be the person that helps me out, do this kind of thing? Okay, could even be me. I don't know. I keep hearing thing. My thing is a Steve. What is that thing? I do have Sag in my chart, which is the first house. Neptune, that's where a lot of my channeling stuff comes from. Anything else for Sagittarius before we get on? I can normally for something's around a Scorpio or Aries. Well, I haven't done Scorpio yet. I was supposed to do them first, but something propelled me to Appel. Okay, so this was something to do coming up in another reading. someone that's got the hair in braids, or Brad, like braiding one's hair, or Bradford, I don't know, but like braiding one's hair, okay? And like, because I said, what do you call it in this other reading? Like, oh God, someone actually told me what the person was as well. So it would be a name, I suppose. But anything else for Sagittarius that we've got? Scotland, Scottish. You like that? See you splat rabbit come up in here and I give you a carrot, what? So there's huge British Isles or island or like Idaho or like a hoe. I really don't know. But is there some sort of like sexual reference type sort of energy here? See, referee reference, Ref Jeff and Steph, Ref, or Ralph. But like I need a referee. I need someone to agree. Referee. Well, referee would be a football match. I can't stand football. But like football, referee, ref. Someone's in the RAF or something like that. Steph and Jeff, but in the RAF, which means that they are a person that kind of goes to war, or they're on a boat or something like this in the RAF, like the army. We're in the army now. Whoa, whoa. So like they're in the RAF or they're in the army or something like that. I'm also hearing Salvation Army as well. So like giving clothes to someone, or like hand-me-down clothes. I don't know if this has been given to someone that's just given birth to someone. But like, here we've got a place in Britain called the Salvation Army. And they basically do like trombones and stuff like that, and God knows what else. And they do like poppy memorial days and whatnot. I don't know what else they do. I think they're kind of like a helpline, more of a helpline. So some of you might be doing this as a job or something like this, where it's like hello, this is like the helpline, and how can I help you? I mean, it could be tarot related, it could be counselling and stuff like that, right? But I'm definitely picking up more of like a helpline of like, okay, I need like, because what was I saying now? Sorry guys, if I'm being it's early in the morning. But like the Salvation Army, that's it. So there's a reference there of something like, I need a reference, okay, and I need someone to say that I'm a creditable person, blah, 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 and I need you to give me a reference, to say that I've worked for you before, blah, 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 so on and so forth, or I know your material, or I know how good you are, I know that you're creditable, blah, 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 kind of getting to know someone maybe, and then saying, it's creditable stuff, like it's real, it's not fake, it's not shit, it's creditable stuff, right? You can go off it, meaning that it's true, okay? So like that, right? So there's something there around that energy, but this could have something to do with around the Salvation Army, where it means that it's an institute, like something of like I don't know, like a woman's refuge or a refugee camp, or something to do with around war or PTSD, trauma, because I'm picking up like a 9 in my head, which would be like a 9 of wands, traumatic energy. Now this could be like clothing and stuff like that, where women come into blah blah blah, or this kind of stuff. But like I said, if any of you are like tarot readers or you are counsellors of such, I don't class myself as a life coach. I don't like to say that I'm ever really in charge of someone's life, but I suppose it's kind of classed as that kind of stuff. But it's just me. I always have a different effect of what people say when they say, sorry, but they like, there was a sweeping energy of like tarot people. Like when they all started off tarot, everybody would say, I'm a life coach, or I'm a spiritual life coach. Now, if you are brilliant, great to you, and I hope you do really well. Me, I don't like attaching those like light workers, right? I light worker, sure, but like the names, it just kind of grates on me after a while. That's why I always have that adverse effect. So, but there is something here about light working, or light calling, or something like that is my calling of light. Okay. So everybody that's spiritual, basically, okay. So this could have some sort of like immediate effect of where it's like multimedia, or it is based around tarot, or something of like refugee camp, the Fugees. ready or not, Pisces, could be myself, right? But like, ready or not, here I come. So you're going to have to catch up. Like when I say things like not, that would be my Pisces swinging on a tree, right? So like, ready or not, here I come. So someone's kind of like really saying, look, ready or not, I'm ready. Sorry, I'm really coming up as sad as fuck in my own. But like, because I'm single, right? And I'm kind of like, if anybody's ready for a relationship and you want a man in your life, action. Action Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. How you getting on, Danielle? You're right. But yeah, something like, look, if you're ready, I'm ready. If you want to go, I'll have a go on that. Again, you've got to be dealing with a Capricorn, or you've got it in your chart here. Same messages came up through the channeled stuff in Gemini, the same channeled stuff in, this was not in the cards though, this was channeled in Capricorn and Gemini. And I said, oh, would I ever go on that? And it isn't a go-kart Sagittarian. So, well, it might be a car. Could have something to do with someone that's got Cancerian in their chart, or Life Path 7. Any of you out there, Life Path 7? If you're a Life Path 7, leave it in the comment section. But like, yeah, I keep picking up this huge 7 energy of like, fuck, now would I drive to see you? Like, I would definitely drive that far, okay, or I would go that far, but I wouldn't go that far. What is that? I would and I wouldn't go that far. Are you dealing with like Woody Harrison? Someone that's got Harrison in their name. I don't know, there's a would and I wouldn't. Is there a Libra energy here or two? Like I would, like, cool, I would drive that far. Oh, I'm coming up with a song as well. I drove all night to get to you. I drive all night to make love to you. I drove all night. So something to do like I would drive. Sorry, but like distance for me doesn't. I don't give a shit about distance. Me, it's kind of like I think that if the energy of love is there and the energy of like a powerful connection, the power of love. So there's another song for you. The power of love. The power of love. Ghost. So that was the power of love. That was the same guy, I think, that sang Ghostbusters, right? So some of you been ghosted, or ghosting someone. Elijah? Elijah's ghost. Where have you been? Hiding in the background there. No, don't be silly now. But like, I don't know, because I'm picking up this that I would drive all night, and then this energy of like to get to you. Like I would drive all night to get to you, because it's kind of like this driven person, right? Like I am 100% driven. I would drive, I would dive into that muff, or I would dive into something, okay, and I would die to be with someone like you. So, ooh, you've got some opportunities here, Sagittarian. Now, let's go back to this, because in Capricorn reading, and Gemini, it was more phallic stuff, and it was more like, oh, would I ever go on that go-kart? Like, let's have a go on your car. But it might be Jimmy, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, or Kaka. Okay, but let's have a go on your motor, bruv. So, someone wants to go on someone's motor car, or get in their car and drive somewhere. Have you guys been doing that? Is it just weird, the fact that I have Sagittarius in the first house of Neptune, that those messages really relate to me? But I do have Taurus and Vedic in a moon sign in 7th house. So I suppose that you can watch it from any aspect, really, I suppose. Like Life Path 5, obviously. If I didn't tell you, you can watch it as a Taurus placement, as a Sagittarius placement, as a Life Path 5 place. There's a huge fish energy here, I'm just telling you. So any Sagittarius, Taurus, or Life Path 5 perspective of, you can watch either of those readings, no matter if you've only got one of them. Okay, so if you haven't got a Taurus placement, but you have got a Sag placement, you can watch Taurus readings, right? Because it's 5, major arcana 5. So just say, if I was saying to you, okay, what's your Life Path number? You say 5. What readings can I watch? Sagittarius and Taurus. Okay, so that relate to a lot of other stuff. If you want my teachings, you'll need to join Patreon, okay? Because it also relates to your fucking loads, your number. So what time you were born. If you meet someone of what time you were born and what time they were born, and you put them together and you come up with a number, that can also give you a sequence of divine timing, because you were born at different times. That doesn't always mean it's going to work out, though. It just means that you're figuring out the numerology code of numbers. But you'll need the old videos that I made, okay? But anyway, so there is something of I will drive all night to be with you, like I would be with you. I'm the one who wants to be with you. Deep inside, I hope you feel it too. So I don't know if someone's told you that they want to be with you or they would be with you, but the same song came up in another reading. You're going to have to watch them all. My advice, watch all my readings. Just watch them all, okay? Honestly, you'll probably get a lot going on if you've got a lot of placements. Place, fish, cod, haddock, fish, life pup, Pisces, right up in here again. Jen, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack, Jackie's son. Now, when I say watch them all, okay, why? Because if you lot are single or you're Pringle or you're a prudish backstabbing bitch, no matter which way around it goes, or even if you're a witch, if you're single and you're looking for someone, right, and I'm happening to call out someone's name, I can call out your future person's name that approaches you that comes from another reading. Right, so that's why it's important. You're like, oh shit! I didn't realise that reading was the person that was finishing something here and going right. So trust me, I've done it myself. I've called out people's names that have actually appeared up in my life. I'm like, shit! I was calling you in, Nanu, Mandy Norton, right? But like, you know, it's up to you what you believe in. Just channeling and how it works. So Channing Tatum. My name is Jeff and Steph. Steve, Sarah, Sassy, Casano, Casino, Sandra, music. I am the music man. I come from outer space. Something of space, that would be time and place. That would be VSTs. So that would be like I do for Angel Radio, mixing, mastering, music, singing, dancing, guitars, synthesizers, keyboards, all that sort of stuff. Music references all over the place here. Like I need a music reference, or I need a referee to say whether it's any good or not, or something around a Pisces, man. But I have been doing the competition. I just haven't made any more just lately, because I made 3 straight off the bat. But yeah, there's something to do around like music, the sound of music, or something like that. I love the sound of music. Who doesn't love the sound of music? I fucking write my own. Like, but something to do around music. Relative energy of enjoying music. Okay, well, like people say meditation, it has to be certain tones. Okay, but voice is also a tone. Okay, so like when we relate to people and we talk to people, when they say, oh my god, your voice, blah blah blah, and I've had it so many times, right? It's one, probably because I'm British, but 2, it's a light language. It's a language that's spoke through one's voice, okay? When it carries a tone and frequency, people can pick up whether it's safe or whether it's not safe, or whether it's kind of like, shit, what is going on with your voice? Right? So it's kind of like this tone that carries a frequency, and when the frequency does that, it gives a spike in adrenaline, and then it draws what? Law of attraction, right? So it's kind of like tonal, okay? So I believe that whatever it is that you listen to, if you love it, you meditate right here, because you go off into like, oh, you know, like I'm losing my mind in the music, right? But like something to do with that, right? Especially if you make your own, like if you make your own music, it's so here was like hypnotherapy really, but it's therapeutic very much for me. When I'm making it, I'm like, that one's got me going. That one there is the one right here, because you can make loads of different music. So you got something to do with around that, okay? Or this person does, right? So you got that. Now the message was something to do around refugee camp. Jason, Guy, someone that says Guy. Hey Guy, isn't that someone that? What's that? My guy. But my guy's talking about my girl. Ooh, Michelle. Talking about my girl. Got another Sunday. Talking about my girl. Ooh. So you could be into like, what do you call it? Like Motown music. Motown. Sort of like the olden days Motown music, right? Anyway, so references of refugees or a refugee camp, and it's something to do with around control, narcissism, PTSD, war. But don't forget, people that come back from war have PTSD trauma, you know, relationships, so on and so forth, PTSD trauma, right? So it's the same kind of thing, but try going to war and then coming back, right? But like suffering from, like, I don't know, there's some sort of like refugee clothing, housing, that kind of stuff, like support for women, men, well, men as well, okay, but men, women, I'm a sufferer of, trust me. Right, do I fucking look normal with fucking 8? Oh, someone asked me, I was going to do a video on this, but it is always on the teaching tier. But someone was gobsmacked when they said, how many twin flames do you actually have? It's not how many twin flames do you have, how many karmics do you have? Fucking shitloads. How many twin flames or soulmates do you have? Fucking shitloads, right? You don't just have one. Right, trust me, you don't. I've had eight spiritual connections with people over my time that have been... See, people find it so weird, and I don't understand it as a Piscean. But people are so afraid of it. What is it? Sexual healing, sexual gratification, healing, right? You can only heal with another person's energy, right? And for some people are going to argue against it, right? When you are on your own, right, what are you healing? The ego. The ego is the only thing that you can cope with of your mind because it isn't an energy, okay? So it's just a thought, right? The thought goes through what? Well, to get to a thought, you need the amygdala. The amygdala is the fight or flight, the run, the response, the anger, the aggression. How do I think about it? How do I feel about it? Well, I can't feel anything until I've thought about it. So I need to think about it, right? So when you use your brain, in order to get to memory, you have to go through what is called the amygdala. The amygdala is where there is shame, guilt, PTSD, trauma, okay, should I, shouldn't I, paranoia, what am I doing, codependency, why? Because to get to that, a memory has to pass in and out of the amygdala, right? So when you're going through those and you're searching through the archives of your brain, it can cause a lot of responses when we go through the call and response, right? Again, it's like music, right? You make music. What's the best music that you can ever make? What is that? What's so interesting? Call and response. Communication, right? Give us a call, I'll respond. If you are talking shitloads and the energy's great, brilliant. You've got such a great connection through dialect, through speaking, through talking. You could do anything, right? Literally anything if you're a good communicator, right? I love communicating. I will talk all day long, right here. But I digress. When you look at music, it's the same as a frequency of call and response, right? So when you play a guitar, why did music become so popular and when they invented it? It's because a guitarist would play a riff and the other person would respond with a different riff but in the same key, right? So then when you get like Eminem, you get other people, they did the call and response thing, which was I'm talking to my own self and I'm writing a rap about this, okay, and I'm talking to my dark shadow side, which is this part of me and this part of me. Those were big hits for people because it was the same energy. It was the call to action, right? A call, I act. If you act straight away, you've got something, right? If you fail to recognize and you fail to see, you don't get a response, right? So it becomes what? Dulcet tone, right? Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't... Fuck, bro, what's the matter with you, Dave? Well, there's no, like, you got nothing in common, right? So it's kind of like, where's the buzz? I don't know where I'm going on. Buzz Lightyear? Buzzcocks? The Buzzcocks. Someone's got a nice cock, maybe. Don't know. Or someone wants someone's cock. But again, light healing. People see this as very sexual magic, sexual healing, right? When you're dripping like a fuck fridge, Sagittarius, you'll know that you're healing because someone's aura is all up in your eaters and everything, right? And you're all like, oh my God, I feel so feminine, right? Why? Because I'm connecting to someone's light energy, right? So it's making me draw, fucking Homer Simpson, I just want to eat the donut out, right? So that's, if people find that really fucking weird, then man, you're not healing your soul, right? You can heal the ego and you can think, oh, well, I want some cock or I want some panani or I want something. I want some food, I want this, but I can't have it, blah, blah, blah. But when you make a connection, that's your head just going through that, right? Fight or flight response. But when you come to the light energy, when you heal is when you meet someone to heal with, okay? Because that heals your soul. You heal your ego, Your ego will always remain intact. No matter what, you will not get rid of the ego. You will never, ever run from your karma. No. People have asked me in the past, like, is this karmic energy ever going to end with this person? Do you think karma is a substance that runs out? Of course it doesn't. It runs out on you and abandons you, right? But you just bump into another energy where you go through the same thing. You cannot run from pain. You cannot run from anything that you'll just meet again. So what do? You learn. And you can't learn, you have to do it the hard way, right? You can't get something for nothing in life. You've got to work hard at what it is that you do as a profession, or whether it be a relationship, okay? But yeah, there's times of giving up. I don't know where all of that is coming from. Refugees, camps, that sort of stuff is your main message, okay? Salvation, basically. Solidarity, motherfucker! Right. Let's see. Women's rights. Well, men have them too. Okay. Just put it that way. That's the trouble with society today. Okay. There is so much blame that... So I'm probably going to lose quite a few customers here. But like men, like decent men. Okay. There is such a society that, yes, girlfriend, we're all together on this hating and blaming kick because women need this and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they had that bred into them for so long that women's rights, women's this, women's that, women's refuge, women couldn't have things years ago, but now we can. And now, sister, we're all solidarity and we're all power and everything else, right? Forgetting that there actually are nice men out there. Okay, so they went down and the women had so much of a high bar in order to reach them. They were kind of like, man, you've got such a bad opinion of us men. Right, what's wrong? Okay, well, everybody's been telling us, go power. Right, let's see. I don't know where it comes from. Sagittarius. So, let's see. Good men that are, well, like myself, man. I'm putting myself in that bracket. I got a fucking great big job. I'm a knob, but a big job. Okay, great job. Huge house, nice car, everything great. Love life. Can't have everything in life, Sagittarian. Some people are good at some things and they're bad at the others, right? You can have a great love life, but you really suffer with money. Me, I've always been great with money. Like, it's never been a problem with me, but it's built within my chart, right? So, like, some people can have this, some people can have that about them. Some people might not be so good looking, some people can be extremely good looking. But really, where does that lie? Within here. Because appearance and everything fades. Money goes. It can be spent, okay? But what have you got? Energy that is spent, what? Wisely. With a person that's wise, interesting, supportive, caring and loving. And it comes from in here. Because if it isn't in here and it's just here, this will fade. It will fade, right? So once it fades and you're left with what? Me, right? Me, who I am. Don't need to change it. You can't. People don't change. Ooh. No. They don't change. Okay, they just are who they are. You don't need to change anything about you, because if you do, you won't be real, right? So you don't have to change yourself for a person. You just have to get the person that's interested in you. Make sense to anybody? And we're talking to Def, Steph and Jeff, or it's Def Wall. Okay. So, Sagittarius, next 48 hours. The King of Swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius placements. Has their own business. Very stoic. Would love to love a person, but they are very financially driven, financially stable, very able. Could be a Cain and Abel. That would be a Gemini placement. Okay. Could be a Gemini and a placement, which would be a fish. Gemini, Piscean, maybe. But you've got someone that's very kind of like, you know, that concentrates a lot on being a family man. Okay. The family guy. Okay. But like a family man. Let's see. Sagittarius. What's going on with Sagittarius for the next 48 is... Oh, okay. So this came up in another reading. Okay. And it was to do with around... And I said it and there was a few people. Someone that you don't want to work with or you don't work well with. But this was also... in a tarot reading saying where I might be really struggling to build up my community of people, and it might be tarot related, it might be work related, and I just can't seem to find any work. I can't seem to find anything that works, okay? But this is always my tarot reading card, okay, or reader card. But some of you are really struggling to get this business that you've got, or this idea that you've got, going. Like, I'm trying to get it going, but I'm just not getting the traffic, right? I'm just not getting, unless you're trafficking, but like, I'm just not getting the traffic. I'm also hearing Val Kilmore, or Valerie, Valhalla, or Valerie, vows. Someone's getting divorced for their vows, okay? Going through procedures of court, needing to, you know, references and blah, blah, blah. So whatever I was saying about references, this is a reference, right? But the trouble is, the card said you've got it in the down position, where it's kind of like, I need a reference from someone before I can get it, okay? So it might be where you're looking for a job or a place to live or something like that, and you need a reference. Or you need someone to help you out, gain your business, okay? Something like that, and I need your help to help me get my business up and running, okay? Could be something to around a Cancerian or a Life Path 7, okay? But some of you, like I said, if you're a entrepreneurial tarot reader, you've got a lot to do. I had to do it for probably 4 years for free, whilst carrying 3 jobs. One with children, taking them backwards and forwards to school, of disadvantaged in a wheelchair, that I loved, but it was not great money, but it was a great job that I loved. So I did that part-time while I built this up. Also worked in a care facility with elderly people, wiping their backsides, bless them, right? But like doing all of that on the, you know, and another job, and doing this in my spare time, and I had to put all of that work in and all of that effort in my spare time, to give up my life completely to do what I felt was my calling to do. So it took a lot of work, right? You can't think, oh, you know what, I'm an inspiring person, I'm just going to do this and it's going to work. You got to learn. Like, the times that you're doing it is when you're learning, right? You're learning about people. You're learning not to go on too much like I do. You're learning to get straight on with it. You'll find people that moan and bitch all the time, right? Here. Impatient, okay? So I'm also hearing impatient, outpatient, something around hospitals, doctors, stuff like that, maybe. Sagittarius, next 48. 2 of Wands. I will put the camera down eventually. Lee, Laura, Lucy, Lucifer, someone at a distance, but they just don't know if they want to work on it with this person anymore or not here. It could be where someone's just been waiting to work on a relationship with someone, but nothing's happened, nothing's been happening. It's just kind of like, well, I'm sort of a bit like me, really. Been waiting to work on a relationship with someone, but I just can't find anyone. It's going to be like Plenty of Fish, like far out there. Is there anybody out there? Pink Floyd? Okay. I think that came up in Roger Waters, David Gilmour, so Roger, Rachel, Rashad Evans, Barry, Tina, David. David Gilmour's actually a Gemini. Pisces, sorry, David Gilmour. Gilmour. Moore, Dr. Moore. A cry for more. Rebel. Sagittarius, next 48. Oh, I forgot. Hangman. Pisces. So there's whatever I've been channeling around the fish area. Someone's been waiting maybe on a wrong person, and they're looking in this direction. We're looking at this person thinking, well, this one's never going to work on anything here. But this one behind me probably would, but I'm looking in the wrong direction here. Because someone here is looking over here, right? Thinking, well, this isn't working. This isn't going according to plan. Am I wasting my time working on something, or waiting for someone to work on a relationship with me, or to offer me any work, or to offer me this, or offer me out at least? But someone could be, you know, waiting on the wrong person, and that's who they're concentrated on, working with someone when the person that they should be concentrated on is the person that is behind them here. So some of you might actually be leaving someone behind you, and you're kind of like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to leave you behind, because you're like a soulmate, really. You're talking to him. I'm sorry, soulmate, but I'm going to have to leave you behind because you just don't cut the mustard, bruv. So I'm going to have to leave you behind, okay? So, like I said, not all soulmates make it, okay? So I'm sorry, but I'm just going to have to leave you in the past, okay, basically, here. Let's see, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. It's like a thought and a notion of lotion, Logan. Put the lotion in the basket. Someone might be lubing themselves up here. Let's see, Sagittarius, the next 48. So you got a new person here. Could be a Piscean for a lot of you here. If you, like I said, if you've got an old one or an old person that it doesn't work on, you've got a newer energy that's here, right? But you've got this, like, thinking about someone, maybe, or this person's thinking about you, Sagittarius, but is there communication? Because there might not be, okay? There might not be communication. Let's see. Sagittarius. Anything going on with Sagittarius this week, please? Sorry, this... So you got another offer here. Sorry, next 48. You got a Page of Swords now. So someone's watching, regardless, there's two people watching a Piscean, but I don't think nobody's talking to the sad fucker. Yeah. So I'm watching you, and I'm watching you, and I'm watching you, but that's all I'm interested in. Well, I mean, it's up to you. Why do I keep thinking this is me and I need to, like, hide? But, Heidi, like, I'm watching. Is it an ex that's watching? Or you're watching for an ex, but you're not even speaking? I mean, my ex was a life path 5. That's never, ever, 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 sorry, but ever going to happen again. No, I have learnt my lesson after 35 times of trying a relationship. What was I doing wrong? Ruining the girl's life, basically. Why? Because I kept going back. I kept going back after being pushed out. The push, the pull, you're this, you're that, you're like, I don't want to keep going on about it. But, like, you know, the blame, the hatred, the mirroring, they're not speaking, the breaking up, the God knows what else of how confusing it was. It's you, it's not, it's you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'll try all of the things that you want me to do every time we get back together and you say, okay, I need you to go to the hospital, I need you to go to the doctors, I need you to do all of these things. I was kind of like, okay, check, I'll go to the doctors, I'll get checked up, okay, I'll do that, okay, brilliant, I'll do that too, okay, you want me to do that, okay, I'll do that. And it still failed after what, 2 days? 2 days, 3 days, it failed after me doing all of the things on these lists every time I got back together of what may be wrong with me that's causing the problem. And I'm checking the lists off and I'm doing them all, but it still happens. What does that tell you, Steve? It actually wasn't you, it's the other person, right? But what does that mean? Don't go back to the person. Why? Because you come up as a narcissist. Why? Because you keep trying to get a person back when they're moving on. Like, when they're moving on with their life and they're getting on and they're getting it over you, but you go back for a moment of weakness. What happens? They end up thinking that you're a controlling piece of shit because you've gone back into their life to stop them from moving on with someone else, right? So reconciliation with exes more than a few times is never a good option to do, because you will end up gaslighting each other, thinking that you're controlling pieces of shit, okay? All the family will hear about it and you would destroy the relationship, okay? It might not even be here, but I'm kind of picking it up, right? Because there could be someone that's like just watching an ex to wait to see what they do, or like I've had it, you know, I'm waiting to see if you find another woman on here or you find another woman because, oh, I'm not going into it, but I've had it, Sagittarius. You know, I know what you're like. You'll go off with someone else and then you'll be back to me. No. Anyway, so King of Swords, after Steve stops talking about his fucking self here. It's a habit, I'm sorry. The King of Swords, let's go down. Okay, why I do that and talk about myself, because I give you the truth of what can happen in these relationships and what can happen when things go wrong and what to do and what not to do. Okay, it's just experience. I would rather someone with experience than none, right? Could be the none. But let's see, King of Swords. Why does Sagittarius have the King of Swords for the next 48? Wow. So there is a very stable individual there that wants a relationship. It could be you guys. You want a decent man. You're a woman wanting a decent guy, unless you've got one here. But what are these here for? The single crew? But there's a person here, 100%, that wants a very loving, stable relationship. But some of you may not realise that you want to actually work on this. Or don't want to. Gemini or Capricorn. That's a great provider. If this was in the upright, which it could be in a general reading, well, in a different reading, that's someone that's got money, good provider of such. Hutchins, Michael Hutchins. What is the Two of Wands? Waiting. Some of you are waiting, or this person's just waiting to see if someone wants to work on a relationship with them. But there needs to be communication. That's the only way you guys ever know. Tarot card readings are never really going to tell you. Communication will, with the person, right? But you can get into these standoffs where you're kind of like, well, I'm waiting on you, and, well, I don't know whether you know. The Hangman. But it might be because someone's already in a relationship and you don't know whether to contact them. What's the Hangman? It's a Nine of Swords. Oh, the poor Pisces. What's going on? I don't know. There is communication. Sleep deprivation? Welcome to Pisces life. Staying up late at night, communicating with someone here? Possibly. Travel? Well, this is, like I said, it's a spiritually divine connection. What's the Page of Cups for Sagittarius? Yeah, wow. Damn, it comes in really quickly, whoever that is. Could be a Libra placement, maybe. This person thinks, might not be a Libra, could be, I don't know. But this person's thinking and watching here. And then they think, what can I message the person? And then suddenly they do. Bing! And then this is communication. And then this is kind of like... Let's see, what's this Page of Swords? Someone could be talking to a few people. What's the Page of Swords? Yeah, man, you've got more clients or children here. Queen. You've got two women here with one man energy. So what's going on here? Someone's trying to decide between a past partner that isn't going anywhere. Okay. This is like, I can't be bothered to move. I can't be bothered to travel. I can't be bothered to get off my ass and do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to come towards you. Blah, blah, blah. It might be someone that's very optimistic about the person and thinks, man, I've got such a great connection with you. But that's a spark. That's a connection. But this is lack of energy, lack of motivation, and lack of effort. I can't be fucked to put the effort in towards the relationship that you may want. So it's kind of like this giddy up, giddy off, like fuck off. Like it's not going anywhere. It's just like, well, there's no action that's being made towards a person here. It's just kind of like really slow. This could be a Capricorn card to me because it's cardinal. Okay. But it could be the involvement. But someone here has got a lot of fire in their chart here and they're kind of like, shit, I could definitely kind of, Steph and Jeff. Like, and then you get this card here. Starts to get someone motivated and thinking, oh shit, there is an opportunity. But there could be a few here that I'm not picking up on. Because I think some of you have got an energy where something just isn't going anywhere. Like it's not going anywhere. It hasn't got the legs. It hasn't got, like, it's just watching, no action. But the trouble is that this is action. So I need to really clarify that for you. What's the Queen of Wands here for Sagittarius? Because that's normally a Sag card for me. What's the Queen of Wands for? It's a Libra energy here. Trying to make a decision. So it could be you guys. If you put you at Sag here, okay, and you're interested in someone that you're keen on, and you're waiting for them and just spying and watching on tarot, waiting to see if they're ever going to come towards you, and they're not, and they haven't, then you have to make that choice. Do I continue on trying to get someone interested in me and look forward to the future with being with me when they're showing no signs of interest or communication, when I know for a fact that there's someone there that will show that, and chemistry, good communicator? Okay, so you've got options, I feel, Sagittarius, for a few of you. Okay, wow, and you had the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles and the Three of Cups. There's something around a Piscean energy here. Okay, but you had the King of Wands. Yeah, there. Okay. So your reading over on Patreon might tell you more, guys, if you want to go over there, because your whole weekly reading was done yesterday and it was put over on Patreon. I think it was yesterday, I'm not sure. Or have I done it? I think I've done it, and if I haven't, I will be doing it now. But whichever way around, your Sagittarius weekly reading will be over on Patreon, but you'll need to join in order to do so. What you get is a full table spread for your weekly, and then it's all clarified to say what you've got coming up. Okay, love, interests, old people, new people. I don't actually think that I've done it yet. I don't know. If I haven't, I will be doing Sagittarius before I do any other readings. But you'll find that over on Patreon below, but you'll need the silver or the gold tier. If you can't afford it and you're like, oh, I really want to just have something, then the join button is there for $2 or $3. And for that, what you get is one personal reading per month. I've got a post over there very soon. So if you're joining, make sure you join now, because I'm going to be posting for the last time this month, what are your questions if you haven't had one. Personal reading. Leave your name, your person's name, what you're interested in. Okay, you get a few cards just to try and answer your question. So you get that. You get personal, you get other stuff that I throw over there that's very informative, the odd little teaching thing maybe now and again, or a random reading for people. It depends on what I have time for, but you do get stuff over there, okay? And you get a glittery name and God knows what else that makes you look really important in the chat and all that sort of shit. So anyway, thanks very much, guys. Really do appreciate it. And I'll hopefully see you over on Patreon.